Welcome, everybody, to the Freedom Hub. Now, before we get started on this one, let me just tell you, I am actually afraid. I really am. I've always kind of avoided this whiskey because it was a bit of a budget whiskey. I've always been a Jameson drinker, and I think I may have tried this just once or twice in the past, and I really haven't tried it since then. There's a reason for it. I just can't remember what it is right now. But in doing my research for this episode, it looked really good on paper. Let me tell you, it really did. The history and everything that goes into this bottle is pretty cool. And it's pretty great. And we're going to talk about it all today as we try Tullamore D.E.W right here on Freedom Hub. It is a great day to be an American. Why? Because of patriots like you. Patriots like you that go out of their way to seek an alternative point of view. Some of you guys really do like to seek logic and reason and facts amongst all of the feeling and all the rhetoric and all of the narrative that seems to be out there in the mainstream media. So thank you very much for tuning into the Freedom Hub. Now, what the Freedom Hub is a place where everything that I appreciate about this beautiful country of ours, it all comes together. It comes together with conservative values. It comes together with the Second Amendment, and celebrating it, of course, and a good, fine whiskey. So in order to support my channel, please go ahead, like, subscribe, and go ahead and ring that bell for notifications, and let freedom ring throughout the land. Now, here on the Freedom Hub, this month is Irish Whiskey Month. And during Irish Whiskey Month, we are celebrating only Irish whiskeys. We got different ones every week. Last week was Jameson Black Barrel. It was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. This week is Tullamore D.E.W. Now, like I said before, I was doing my research for this one, and it looked so good on paper. It really did. And well, I tried it before, and I haven't tried it since. So we're going to get to that here in a second, but let me tell you why. Why are we doing Irish Whiskey Month on this channel? As you can see, it is clearly American and a celebration of everything that is American. And really, I couldn't think of anything more American than how much Americans celebrate St. Patrick's Day. From the St. Patrick's Day parade in Chicago and in towns, of course, all over the country. But in Chicago, they even dye their river green every single year. And they march the police and everybody right downtown. It's pretty amazing. And they do that in a lot of cities, actually. And Americans, everybody's got to wear green on St. Patrick's Day, which is coming up next week. Everybody wears the Kiss Me I'm Irish shirts and all sorts of stuff. It is a great celebration. Last year, it was completely tarnished, where a lot of states, including my own here in Nevada, was shut down. Now, 2 weeks to flatten the curve lasted a little bit longer than that, but I still celebrated my St. Patrick's Day. I did. We're going to have a very special St. Patrick's Day episode next week. And I'm going to pull out a very special Irish whiskey that I know you'll love. But this week, it's all about the Tullamore D.E.W. Now, Ireland. The Irish invented whiskey. They did. In Latin, they called it aqua vitae, which is the water of life. Now in Gaelic, it translates to, and excuse my pronunciation, whiskey beta. And that's whiskey with a U. So of course, it went from whiskey to whiskey. And that is how we get the name. It's pretty cool. Now, Tullamore D.E.W is an Irish whiskey. It's been around for a minute. Let's go ahead and check out the bottle. So, nice, simple, branded. It says, whilst triple distillation guarantees the ultimate smoothness, aging this unique blend for many years in Oloroso sherry and old bourbon oak casks brings out character and flavor that continues to win awards year after year. And it's got a couple pictures of some awards. And of course, I had a little bit of a hard time reading it. It's very small print and a whole lot of it here on the side of the bottle. And it has the same thing on the other side. So, first of all, let's get right into the obvious. This is not Tullamore D.E.W at all. It's not. It is Tullamore D.E.W. If you look closely at the label and at the name, the D.E.W is separated by periods. So it is initials, and it stands for Daniel E. Williams. Daniel E. Williams came to the distillery as a 15-year-old boy, and he worked as a stable boy there. And in 10 years, when he was 25, he became master distiller. It's a pretty cool story, actually. And it was his ingenuity and what he brought to that distillery which really brought out the success for Tullamore D.E.W. So they tribute to him every single bottle. They put his name all over the label. They put his picture on the side. It's all a tribute to him. So, what this is a blended Irish whiskey. Now, in blended Irish whiskey, this blends grain whiskey for the sweet taste, malt whiskey for the fruity notes, as well as traditional Irish pot still whiskey for that spice. So it brings it all together into a blend. Now, there's a lot of people who turn up their noses at blends. There really is. There's a lot of people who go for that single malt scotch. That, it's pure. It's all one thing. It's great. And sure, it really is. But what Daniel E. Williams believed is taking the best out of every kind of whiskey that existed at the time and putting them all together, the best of all worlds, to create one superior product. Sounds pretty cool. The distillery was founded in 1829. Quite some time ago. So they've been doing this for a minute. Now, other bottling that they do is they do a 12-year special reserve. They do a 14 and 18-year single malt Irish whiskey. They do a rum cask finish. And they also do a cider cask finish, which is kind of cool. So let's go ahead, give it a pour, and take a look at this guy. Screw top, no cork. Maybe some of the larger bottles have corks, I'm not sure. Let me know in the comment section if the larger bottles got corks. Usually I see that as a sign of quality and screw top as a sign of budget. So, As you can see, this is your typical Irish whiskey. This is gold, 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 and more gold. There is nothing else going on in here other than gold. It looks, yeah, traditional Irish whiskey, nice and light. As you can see in the video, it rolls off the side of the glass rather easily. It's almost watery, I would say. It doesn't have the kind of full body that like a Kentucky straight bourbon would have. So let's go ahead and just so you know, during my research, I looked on their website and they don't have any notes. They don't have any notes for the nose or for the taste or anything. Nothing. Tullamore D.E.W. Figure it out. That should be the motto. So let's go ahead, see what it brings to the nose. All right, I'm a little afraid. I'm getting that rubbing alcohol kind of smell. Now, of course, earlier today I was trying out a delicious Texas bourbon, and that review is going to come up here in a couple weeks here at the beginning of April. I can't wait to tell you about that. But this doesn't have much going on for the nose. It is a typical Irish. It is that shortbread cookie. Yep. Sweet, buttery, but still a lot of that rubbing alcohol. Now, typically you get that with a higher proof whiskey. Let's see what this one is here. 40%. All right, so it is 80 proof. But I'm getting much more of an alcohol than I do with something like Jameson. So, guess nothing else to do, but let's go ahead and do the do to America. Well, okay. All right. So they age this whiskey in their traditional refill barrels, ex-bourbon barrels, and ex-sherry butts to give it the color and the flavor that you typically get with an Irish whiskey. Honestly, I'm not getting a lot. I'm not getting a lot at all. I do like this, but you know, I like whiskey and I like Irish whiskey. I really do. This, I don't think that I would just drink straight. I think this is a mixer. This is something that you blend and you rock out at the party with, because why not? You know, this you could drink all day St. Patrick's Day. Be totally fine. The bottle's even that bootlegger kind of shape, which I really like. I'm gonna give it one more straight taste. See if it does anything different on the second time around. You see my sinuses tense up a little bit there. Some people also refer to it as a whiskey face. Now, typically get that just with the burn on its own, but it starts off, all you get is that alcohol. And that is typical with your whiskeys. It really is. It's typical in that it starts off that way, and then usually you get the fruit, you get the vanilla, you get whatever else kind of notes you may usually find in a whiskey. This particular one is falling a bit flat for me. It really is. But like I told you before, on paper, this sounds really, really good. It does. And that's why I wanted to try it for the Irish Whiskey Month. But I'll always be honest with you here on the Freedom Hub. I always will be. And this one it's falling very flat. So I'm going to give it one more try. I'm going to try it out with the recipe that they have on their site for this particular website. And that is another reason why I'm very scared about this. The Tully and Tonic. Tullamore D.E.W, tonic water, and garnished with an orange slice. Now, I didn't have an orange slice. I had a little bit of lemon juice. So I enjoy a good gin and tonic in the summertime. Maybe it was all the quinine I was drinking during the summertime with all the Tanqueray and tonics during furlough that kept the COVID away. But who knows about that? Hashtag fake news. All right. But yeah, I never got it. But with whiskey, the tonic water and whiskey, and a little bit of citrus. I mean, if you tell me Tullamore D.E.W, if you tell me on your website that this is how to drink your drink, that this is the best that you got, I'm going to go for it. I am. So, God, I'm scared. I am scared. Oh, I don't know what this is going to do. All right, shut up and drink the drink. Cool. To freedom. What is even happening? Oh, wow. Okay. I smelled it a little bit. That one was a little bit watery, but then again, there's not a whole lot of flavor to this guy, and it's just tonic water, so let's try it again. The quinine and the whiskey is very interesting. I think interesting is a good word for it. I don't know if it's something that I prefer, but it is interesting. Nope. Well, Tullamore D.E.W. I really did give it my best shot. I did. But I don't... Man. It's kind of a letdown. I really wanted all of that flavor that you promised me. All of that sweetness from the grain whiskey. The the fruitiness from the malt whiskey, and I wanted the spice from that Irish pot still whiskey. I wanted it all. I did, and I wanted it wrapped up in a little bottle with a little bow on it. I did. And I even like it even more because I'm a big fan of dogs, and it's got 2 Irish Wolfhounds on the cap. It does. And it says exceptional character right under those dogs. Big fan of Irish Wolfhounds. Kind of awesome. But what do Irish Wolfhounds do? They fetch. They hunt, of course. But they fetch, just like all dogs. And if I had those 2 Irish Wolfhounds right now, I'd tell them to go out there and fetch me a better bottle of Irish whiskey. Sorry, Tullamore D.E.W. Kind of fell flat. But it's honesty for you, and I'll always be honest with you here on the Freedom Hub. Thank you very much to all of our law enforcement, our first responders, all of our active military, and all of our veterans out there. Thank you all for watching. And we'll see you next week for our St. Patrick's Day special. Thank you.